gave him the opportunity to be a part of the building of the Keeter Center, the Alumni Center, and the McKibben Center. During college, John also started his own business. H&G Fencing was a partnership he and a fellow C of O student operated throughout their college years together. John received the Wall Street Journal Award his freshman year for outstanding academic achievement. After graduating, John returned home to the family dairy to become a partner with his parents. Since then, 3 of his brothers have also become partners in Hemme Dairy, as well as their latest venture, Hemme Brothers Creamery. He and his wife, Brittany, and their 2 children live near the dairy farm and spend time together pitching in around the farm. John is a delegate for MFA Incorporated and also serves on the finance board at his church. Please join me in welcoming John Hemme.
Is responsible for cell phones. I'm just a farmer, you know. But my name is John Hemme. I'm a C of O graduate. I do farm with my 3 brothers and my parents. We raise corn, soybeans, wheat, alfalfa, and a wide variety of cover crops. We milk 150 cows. The milk is then turned into cheese through our creamery, making us a farm-to-table operation. My job description, I raise the row crops and replacement heifers. My brothers Aaron and Michael manage the milking herd. My brother Nathan makes the cheese. My dad runs around and tries to sell it. So we also employ 4 to 5 part-time employees, one of which we just lost because he went to college and is sitting amongst you tonight. He was a hard rock. So being that I'm a farmer, I get to spend a lot of time in the cab of a tractor singing and talking to myself. I really need to get my radio fixed because it hurts my ears, you know. But my speaking, I haven't spoken since I attended this college, so you have to bear with me. It's crazy for me to think that 16 years ago, I was sitting where you guys are today. Making new friends and learning how to become independent, you know, how to be on your own. It honestly just feels like yesterday. Time just really flies by. And it's fun for me to see so many young faces here tonight and know all of the opportunity ahead of you within these gates of opportunity. You all are starting with a clean slate. You're at a point in your life where you haven't made a life-changing, big-time mistake, you know. Just keep that in mind, and hopefully, as you hear my story, and maybe learn from some of my mistakes, you'll be able to make wiser choices and look at life a little bit differently. So, here's a little background on myself and what I've learned along the way. I grew up a very poor farm kid. My brothers and I, we were boys doing men's work. That's just how we grew up. I learned how to drive a tractor at way too young of an age. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that, you know, might have violated some child labor laws. I don't know. But we worked like dogs, you know. But we loved it. We loved it enough to where Dad was able to bring all of us back. We all wanted to come back. Since I was 5, I knew I wanted to be a farmer. It's just always what I wanted to do with my life. I came to college at the Ozarks in 2002. Like I said, I was actually granted my workstation that I had applied for during character camp, which, believe it or not, was construction. But I loved it. I mean, I fell in love with it. I learned so many different trade skills there, many of which, you know, ranging from framing to all different kinds of concrete work to welding, many of which I still use on a daily basis on my own operation, especially the welding. Somebody's always bringing something up that they just tore apart, you know, it's got to be put back together. So there was a lot of camaraderie in my workstation. A lot of the work supervisors and students I worked with, I am still very good friends with today and make the effort to keep in touch with them. I did graduate on time, debt-free with a major in business administration. I returned to the family farm in 2006. I borrowed money, being that I was debt-free, why not, you know? And became a partner with my parents and my brother. The farm was kind of a wreck at the time. Mom and Dad had gone through some really hard times. And we're down to milking 80 cows. There was really no money around. And no equipment, there was just a lot of debt. The first 5 years of my farming career, I spent building the business, adding equipment, adding cows, building barns, building infrastructure, building assets. I was laying a foundation on which I could eventually make a living. But during those years, I lived a very, very poor life, almost pathetic. I lived in such a rickety old farmhouse that it was around, but it should have been burned down. I killed 2 6-foot black snakes in my living room at night, and I hate snakes. But I'm fortunate enough to have married such an understanding woman over there, because finding another place at the time to live wasn't an option. All joking aside, that snake story sums up my life those first few years. Sometimes you just have to do what you gotta do, you know, even if you gotta tolerate snakes and you hate them. They didn't stay there very long, so we lived solely on my wife's income through those years. As we were expanding the operation, 07, 08, we built a couple massive cow housing barns. My brother and I used the trade skills that we learned here at College of the Ozarks to actually do the labor ourselves. We put together kind of a skeleton crew and us brothers and saved ourselves about $80,000 in labor on those 2 projects. You know, sometimes when you're broke, you're forced to be creative, think outside the box. Fast forward 2 more years, 2010, we caught a good break. A large amount of farmland acreage became available to us, and like that, overnight, God said, you guys are row crop farmers, you know, and which was a big blessing. Things seemed like they were just going great. Fast forward 2 more years, 2012, disaster hit us, and I mean in a very big way. We had the worst drought we had seen in 32 years. We raised relatively nothing. On top of that, you may not know much about dairy cows, but we had a stray voltage problem on the farm, all but ruining our milking herd. You know, it's one of those things that you can't see, you can't feel it, but cow can, and they don't like it. And it just came out of the blue. It wasn't too much fault of our own. It's just one of those things. It just about ruined us. We lost money everywhere we turned that year. I lost my life savings. By the end of the year, I had a negative net worth. At that point, I was property of my bank. And I had just had my first child. I remember, you know, holding this baby boy and wondering, am I making the right life decisions here, you know? Really questioning myself. It's the lowest I've ever felt, and I was this close to throwing in the towel. But we didn't. We found creative ways to hang in there just a little bit longer, you know? And praying is about all we can do for better times ahead. Farmers, if we don't know it, are eternal optimists. There's always a better year next year. And to this point, we don't know if we were brave or just plain stupid. But regardless, it had paid off. It wound up paying off in a very big way. Because fast forward, it took another 2 years, and God sent us 2014, record high milk prices, because we had been faithful to our business and never lost sight of our end goal. We had built, beside all odds, we had built our herd back up to where it should have been, and we were at full capacity at that point. We had tremendous crop yields. It was the complete opposite of a disaster. We made money, an insane amount of money, everywhere we turned. It was just, nothing we'd ever seen before. Enough money to where we dug ourselves out of that hole within that 1 year. It's just production agriculture. If you're looking to get into that, you're going to have to learn how to deal with that. It's just part of the business. But as we dug ourselves out of that hole, we had a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun to make a lot of money, and it changed our mindset. So fast forward another 2 years, and as I was putting this together, I noticed a pattern that every 2 years something drastic happens to us. And I'm sitting here looking at 2016, it's 2018. I have no idea what's going to happen this year. I hope it's good. I don't want to lose a fortune again. But in 2016, we launched Henry Brothers Creamery. Again, using our construction skills that we learned here at College of the Ozarks to do a lot of the labor ourselves, saving us another $40,000. Notice how that's a reoccurring theme to my story. We started the creamery to set our price. We got tired of having a really, really good year and then losing it all in a really, really bad year. Everything in between. We want to have good years all the time. We started it to bring stability to our lives. And over the past 2 years, the creamery's growth and success has earned us some publicity and recognition, which is largely why I'm standing in front of you tonight. So this is going to sound a little off course, but I promise it'll tie together in the end. For those of you who may be business-minded, may know that Wall Street, I had a business major, so I kind of get into this stuff, but Wall Street has its own terms and languages, or language such as a bull market and a bear market. Bull markets are driven out of reward and encourage buying of stocks. Bear markets are driven out of fear and encourage the selling of stocks. Now there's an old saying that goes, bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Now think about this. Bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Of course this is referring to investments or managing investments, but I think it can be applied to life in general because it's okay to be a bull, be a risk taker. Most self-made millionaires have a very bullish attitude. And it's okay to be a bear and live your life very super conservative. A bear will live its life, a long and happy life, knowing that they're secure. But a pig is greedy. A pig is always holding out for the highest price, and he always misses it because the high price is never high enough. A pig is full of self-pity and pride. He's closed-minded and never wrong. He will live his life in poverty, lonely, and unhappy. A pig has a poverty mindset. Now, as much as I hate to admit it, but the first 8 years of my farming career, I was a pig. Not that I was some greedy monster, but that I was closed-minded. I valued my actions too much. I always had an excuse for why something didn't work. It never was really my fault. I was prideful. I had tunnel vision. I was so focused on all of the bad things that were going on in my life that I unknowingly squandered away new opportunities on a daily basis. And it took me going broke and then being forced to dig myself out of that hole for me to realize that I was my biggest problem. I was the reason for my failures. I was the pig, and I had fallen unknowingly victim to a poverty mindset. You see, God places opportunities in front of you and in front of me every day. However big or small they may be, you just have to be willing to look for them. Out of anything I've ever learned in life, that's by far the most important. You just have to be willing to see them. And we are so blessed to live in a country where we have the freedom to succeed and to fail, because behind every failure, there's an opportunity to learn and become a success. Now, my story is not a very glorious story, but it is a story of persistence. When things got really dark and gloomy, it would have been so easy so many times to say, I'm done. I've cut my losses. I don't care if it takes me the rest of my life to pay this off, and I'm moving a different direction, you know. But we didn't. We buckled down. We rolled with the punches. We learned from our failures, and over time, it produced success. So during your time at College of the Ozarks, keep your eyes open for opportunity. Use this college and its work-study program to find your passion, to find your God-given talent, and then find a way, once you find it, to make a career out of it. Because when you do the things you love, it doesn't feel like work. That's what allows me to work 14-hour days consistently, sometimes more, and deal with all of the headaches and the heartaches that I have kind of explained here over the years, and keep a sane mind. I really enjoy my work. Know that this college owes you nothing. They have already set everything in place for you to succeed here. And it's up to you, and only you, to seize the opportunity and become a success yourself here. Show up to work in class with a can-do attitude. If you ever feel yourself going through the motions, which is easy to do, find a way to change it up, because that's unacceptable. Be cheerful that you will graduate this college debt-free. I know that was huge for me. You just heard of all my struggles. I want you to dream big, set goals, and never say never. And then be religious in your efforts as you pursue your goals. And remember, success is in the eye of the beholder. I am a 7th generation farmer. My family has been farming, as ridiculous as this may sound, in the same township since the mid-1800s when they settled there from Germany. So success for us isn't necessarily all about the money. Success for us is about continuing that family farming legacy. And it's also about maintaining our family relations and finding ways to bring back the next generations, however creative we have to be to do that. So that is our American dream. That is my American dream. And now I encourage you at this point in your life to try to go out there and find yours. So be a bull, be a bear, be a mix of the two, just don't be a pig. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kinney. At this